Right, let's turn our attention now to the aviation sector, where recent events involving Wasiu Ayinde and ValueJet Airlines, as well as Comfort Emerson and Ibom Air, has raised questions about Nigeria and a significant problem of lawlessness. However, some behavioral analysts believe that at the core of these incidents is a subject of self-control, self-discipline, and self-regulation. Just basically the ability to resist impulses and persevere in the face of challenges, whether publicly or privately. Now, for more on managing disruptive behavior, a global security analyst and CEO of Debris Protection Services, Dr. Dixon Osaji, joins me on the news at 10. Good to have you join us.
Thank you very much, Precious. Good evening. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. I know that you have a lot for us today, so I'll just let you get into it.
Yeah, fantastic. The incident that transpired in the local airport has gone viral and has once again put us on the negative limelight. But not to worry, life goes on. But today we'll be talking about management of disruptive behavior. First of all, in a given environment, as a professional, you must understand that the true measure of professionalism is not how you handle, it's not how things go right, but how you respond to behavior when things, to negative behaviors. You can see Precious and Comfort and the air hostess, what went wrong here. This is a disruptive behavior, both from the side of Comfort and also from the side of hostess, the air hostess. As time goes on, you understand what plays are there. So first of all, when we talk about disruptive behavior, Precious, you have to understand that disruptive behavior refers to any action, conduct that interrupts, the word interrupts here, because there was an interruption at the local airport, that interrupts normal operations or threatens safety or undermines the order in a given environment. So Precious, Comfort herself and the air hostess never managed the incident that transpired at the local airport, and that is why it is very essential for us to understand the types of disruptive behavior, because if you know the types of disruptive behavior, you'll be able to manage incident. And that is why, as an employee or an employer, you must make it a necessity that every staff and management undergoes the management of disruptive behavior, so that you bring things to a state of peace instead of allowing the incident to escalate. You can see verbal aggression, non-verbal aggression, physical aggression, and passive disruption. Now, Precious, Comfort, sorry, I keep on mentioning your name, okay. Apologies there. Comfort, Kwam, both of them falls under the verbal aggression and also the physical aggression. But in the incident of Comfort and the air hostess on camera exhibited a non-verbal hostility. Her intimidity stance provoked Comfort, because Comfort is not a mad woman, sorry to use that word, but something provoked her to act that way. And that is why sometimes when an incident happens, you need to check the causative factors. So when you look at the causative factors, you observe that Comfort was being was frustrated, and that was why she acted that way. Then the passive disruption. The air hostess does not have the power of arrest. The plane has already landed. She's done with her duty. It's either she stepped down from the plane, plane and go off board, but she was there, trying to resist Comfort, and that is provocative as well, because it's going to cause a lot of disruption, and that is why she herself acted in the area of passive disruption.
I like this very well, because in every side of arguments, this is a good evaluation for you.
Oh, yeah.
Look, exactly. Whatever happens, you must have been this way to the left or to the right.
To the right, yeah.
You must fall in between.
You must fall in between.
So if you can analyze and evaluate very well, you realize that you fall in between.
Yeah. The Kwam, Comfort, and the air hostess, they all fall under this 4 category. On these 2 categories, the air hostess falls under this category, while Comfort falls under this category because she was being physically aggressive. But before she was being physically aggressive, something must have precipitated that, which is the passive disruption, because the air hostess was blocking her.
So this is cause and this is reaction.
Yeah, exactly. Then causes of triggers. First of all, you need to understand the causes and triggers of disruptive behavior. Nobody wakes up in the morning and wants to go out or go to the marketplace and become a nuisance. Sometimes occasions precipitate bad behavior, occasions precipitate, negative reactions, and that is why talk about the emotional stress or mental health disorder. I was driving in here today, and maybe I was driving slowly, and somebody brought out his hand and just do me like this, So first of all, I understand that maybe I was not moving fast enough, and he was frustrated, and he has to insult himself, not me. So most times, before you react to disruptive behavior, you must understand the reason why that such person is being disruptive. If you understand why this person is being disruptive, you will be able to manage that situation. Not when somebody says you are stupid and you say you are stupid too, then you are not managing situations. So for you to manage situations on your own part, you must understand the causative factors. So these are the causes and triggers Emotional stress sometimes causes disruptive behavior. Alcohol or drug influences causes disruptive behavior, personal grievances, and frustration. This was what led to Comfort's disruptive behavior, because he was frustrated in the flight. The environmental factors as well, economic factors as well. You know, sometimes when you say somebody good money, you say what's good about the money, you know, due to economic factors.
Absolutely.
So these are part of the causes of disruptive behavior. And as an employee or employer, you must let your staff understand the causes of disruptive behavior so that you'll be able to manage that situation. You see, these are the step-by-step management process. The first process is for you to observe and assess the situation. The second process is for you to approach. Approach matters, you know, when somebody tells you, hello, okay, my last flight 2 days ago to Lagos, I was pressing my phone, the head hostess look at me and say, excuse me, sir, please, can you put up your phone? Wow, with beautiful smile, I said, oh, you're so beautiful. And I have to put up my phone. Approach matters, not come and say, excuse me, sir, please put up your phone. Put up your phone. No. If you approach people decently and in a calm manner, such person will not be reactive. They won't respond with you rudely. So approach really matters. Then you communicate. In the area of the head hostess, what she should have done was that immediately she perceived this incident going on, she should have calmed down, managed the situation, then document the situation and report to the aviation authority. But she stood there as if she has the power of arrest. Even though the Constitution grants citizens power of arrest, under 3 provision, in that instance, she does not have the power of arrest because there was a captain of that flight. That captain would have called the control tower and say, hey, there's a disruptive passenger on flight. Please come and pick her up. That is what the pilot should have done. But the pilot never did that. It was the lady that became the police officer on flight. So the escalation techniques, you know, sometimes when you come across disruptive behavior in your area of businesses, definitely, Precious, 1 or 2 disruptive persons might visit your business, maybe due to lack of satisfaction or whatever the case may be. But you as a professional, you must have these de-escalation techniques. Active listening. Most times people don't want to listen to customers. You know, when you listen to your customers or you listen to your passengers, let them mourn, allow them to speak so that they will not, you know, put you in a negative limelight. Like the Ibom Air now, people have seen the negative side and the positive side. So active listening is very important. Understand the causative factors because we are previously. Why is this guy shouting at me? Is he okay? Does he have a heartbreak? You know, heartbreak could also, emotional causes, could also lead someone to, you know, disruptive behavior. Then also, you need to maintain a neutral body language. You know, not when you are talking to the passenger, you're like, are you the only one on flight? You know, your body language also tells, you know, even if you don't speak out, that's non-verbal causative factors. Your body language also tells. Then lowering your voice and your voice tone, you know. See how beautiful you are, Precious. When you come to me and say, please, Mr. Dixon, can you put off your phone? I will switch it up and put it under the basket, you know, because the way you approach me matters, and that's really a good one. Then avoid confrontational words. As an employee like the head hostess, she should have avoided confrontational words with Comfort completely, and this incident would have gone viral. So,
what about, I know that you talked about the air hostess, but what about Comfort in this situation, instead of de-escalation techniques? We should have been her own de-escalation technique under the circumstance. Fantastic.
Now, Comfort would have avoided confrontational words, you know, because I saw her, she was saying, leave the road. But mind you, there was a decoy in that incident because camera went on in presence of the air hostess to pick Comfort's negative side, and we never know that until Comfort came on board to release her own side where she videoed herself asking the air hostess to please leave the way because she refused to leave the way, which led to that provocation. Perhaps Comfort is trying to catch up an international flight and you blocked her. She will do all she can to ensure that she get out of that situation. That was what she tried to do because we don't know where she was going to. So you don't have right to stop her except in a case of intensive criminal issues. So Comfort herself or whatever the case with any passengers, when you come into such kind of situation, try to avoid confrontational words because, you know, words matters. There's power in the tongue, you know. Sometimes you can say a word and the word be on fire.
She also hit the air hostess. I understand that she might have been frustrated, but could that's not confrontational words, but maybe just avoiding confrontation altogether. Could that also be something she could have done in that situation? You
know, confrontation leads to assault. It could lead to verbal confrontation and non-verbal confrontation. You know, it could lead to assault. Even the air hostess, we saw her confronting Comfort. She was pushing her backward. That is an assault on her part, which is very, very wrong because when you touch any individual without his or her consent, you've rightly assaulted this person. So for me, I think both of them, they are all guilty of these confrontational words because if they had managed the situation, they wouldn't have, this incident wouldn't have gone viral. You understand? So our next slide is talking about management strategy. This is customer focus. Consistent staff training is very important, Precious, and I'm very happy the Minister of Aviation has ordered the training of the aviation officers and men. And I also suggest that they run an audit of their standard operating procedures. What are the standard operating procedures in place when you come across a disruptive passengers? What's expected of you to do? You understand? They should also audit the airport authority, SOPs as well. Every of their books, standard operating procedures, and customer relations must be audited by external organizations so that they will not bring Nigeria in such a negative limelight. So consistent training is very important. Then recognizing and reward for staff excellent customer reports. Sometimes we have good staff. Like I told you about the air hostess that spoke to me very decently 2 days ago when Captain Amara flew the Valley Jet that brought me to Lagos. She was so professional, and I was very impressed the way she spoke to me. So communication matters as well, and you must be able to look at the customer's face, understand what the problem is. You never can tell what's went wrong or what's going wrong. Then in conclusion, I think it's very important that we treat every person we come across with courtesy. You must leave people better than you met them, precious. Don't meet people and leave them in a bad situation. That is why Comfort was not well treated from my own perspective. And if the management of Ibom Air had trained their staff on management of disruptive behavior, I tell you, we will not be here talking about this incident. But it's good it happens because whenever an incident happens,
it brings it to our consciousness.
Yes, it brings us to our consciousness, and also we talk about it and how we manage it.
This is, it's something that everyone should learn, and I hope that people have learned from it in managing disruptive behavior. I always say this, and look, no matter how offended you are, if the situation escalates, it means that there's something you could have done better. And so that's something that we've all learned today. Thank you so much.
You also have to remain calm, cool, calm and collected.